Alright, so this is going to be a video on how to level up from beginner to advanced, level 1 to level 40 plus. And I'm mostly doing this for people who are using bows and daggers, but you can just convert what I'm saying and do the same thing for any other weapon class. If you're using Fire Staff, Ice Staff, or Greatsword, it pretty much applies to you guys as well. It's just that the weapon variations are different, but the ways of leveling up is pretty much the same. So now the first thing that you guys want to do once you've joined is, of course, do the main quest. Keep going until you could get yourself one of the beginner weapons of whichever class you were trying to get. A little tip along the way is that these mobs that you're fighting will have a chance to drop keys. As you could see from this boar and this wolf, they drop common keys, and common keys are going to be used to open up chests that are found around the similar area where the mobs spawn. So for example, if the wolves spawn here and they drop common keys, there should be common chests spread around the map somewhere around here. And once you open those chests up, you should be able to get your first weapon. And then once you get your first weapon, the first place that we're gonna head on over to is this area right here on the right hand side, which is right here in between these trees. There's gonna be a group of rats. So let's go ahead and make our way over there. And also a little tip, I recommend getting mounts. I will show you guys 7 different ways to get mounts in my other video, so I'll link it in the description if it's already out. But yeah, if you don't have a mount, just make your way over there by walking. And also, if you see portals along the way just like this, there's a little horseshoe symbol. You want to go ahead and collect them because they are very useful for travel later on. Alright, so we're gonna make a little quick pit stop at Floren village, and right here you could talk to Flora to teleport, and you could reveal this little stone right here to actually activate the teleporter. So this is what I always recommend. Once we're going along the way, if you see these portal icons and you see the portals, unlock them. They're going to be very useful for you guys later on. Alright, so we're right near the area where we need to be. As you can see, it's in between these little trees right here. You should see a windmill and a little bit of crops. Now, the first thing you want to do before you want to get inside this area is, of course, talk to the quest giver. This guy's a one-time quest, but go ahead and talk to him. You're going to go ahead and kill 10 rats, I believe, to actually complete it. But now, the entirety of this video is going to be based around this tactic. So gather, not losing their aggro, turning around, and killing. So you want to go ahead and gather these rats. And if they get too close to you, you could always dash. So as you can see, I have all the rats on me right now. Get an AoE move from your arsenal and turn around and use it. Ready? 3, 2, 1, boom. As you can see, they all died at the same time. So let me go ahead and show you guys once again. As you can see, I'm just maneuvering my way. If they get close, I'm just gonna dash so I don't get hit. There we go. Wait for them to hit. Turn around. Use your attack. There we go. Easy, 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 easy. What the hell? Do they just keep respawning? Did they fix this? This is the 3rd time that this has happened. That they just keep respawning as a full camp. I'm pretty sure they should have their own individual RNG timers, right? I'm not sure. But yeah, we could do it again as another example. Now we could use bow. Bow doesn't really have AoE moves, so I recommend getting explosive shot. If you already have it, you could use it, but at this point you probably don't have it. But I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys anyways. There it is. And it did it again. Maybe you can just permanently farm this without waiting. Usually I had to wait, but now we can move on. So a quick little tip again. If you look at the venom rats, we talked about this earlier, they could drop keys, and this one drops uncommon keys, and in this area, there could be uncommon chests. So I believe this one is an uncommon chest. Nope, that is a common chest, and this one should be uncommon? Yeah, this one. So open those uncommon chests, and like I said before, once you open those uncommon chests, you should get uncommon weapons, whether that be dagger, greatsword, fire staff, or ice staff, and also armors as well. Even though they're not the best just because they're not crafted, which I will talk about later on in other videos, at least you get yourself a little boost. But farm yourself up to like level 10 to level 15, and then you can move on to Stonehaven Grove. And this one is fairly much the same thing. But on the right hand side, go ahead and collect the quest from Mariana. And then there's going to be 2 groups. There's the first group, which is going to be in the front. So these guys right here, collect them and then use your skill. Turn around, 3, 2, 1, boom. And then the second group should be over here. And by the way, if you can't one-shot them yet, just keep upgrading that same skill in its passives. Keep upgrading your strength. Just any way that could benefit you in one-shotting these guys, just upgrade it. But even then, if you can't one-shot them with all those upgrades, just hit them, turn around, and keep running in a circle. Here we go. We'll do it again. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Now, I don't like to get those guys just because they're out of the actual camps over here, the main camps, so you can kind of leave them alone. But yeah, grind this up until you're level 20. Alright, we're gonna make a little detour near the fishing area, the fishing village. On the left-hand side of the bridge, this little leg right here, you can see that there's another portal. Talk to Talia, unlock this, and then now you can teleport from spawn all the way to this area if you ever need it. But the next area that we're gonna head on over to is the forest, which is right here, the Elder Woods. I'll show you guys where the teleport is as well, but make your way over if you don't have the teleport there. And here we are. So this teleporter is actually right below the sign near this tree right here, kind of in these leaves. Now there are a couple of quests here, not really a ton. I guess you could talk to these guys for the Guardian Bear quest. So collect the Bear Expedition quest and then you could farm bears. I'll show you guys where the bear camps are. So before I get into the bears, at this point with Dagger, you should have Dagger Blink and its critical hit passive. What that does is basically when you use Dagger Blink, the critical hit will activate for 10 seconds and your next move will have a guaranteed critical hit chance. So then when you use Bleeding Daggers, you'll just do insane amounts of damage. Now, right behind this little village, there's a little group of female grizzly bears and normal bears. Now, these female grizzly bears don't actually aggro onto you unless you hit them. So what you want to do is use the bow from far away and then aggro the mobs. So like maybe the male bear, the female bear, another male bear, just anywhere around this vicinity. And you want to be careful with these bears because they have a second move where it actually stuns you and has a huge AoE. So be very, very careful. But then once you have that, use your blink. I'm going to use my invincibility because it has the same critical hit buff. So I'm going to use the stealth and then use my dagger move, and as you can see, guaranteed crit chance. Now the next area is actually fairly close. In this little mountain range, you will see a lot of werewolves, and there's going to be two main camps that I'm going to talk about, which is the one in the front near the sign. So collect these guys right here, and once you have them, hop off your mount, get your critical hit guaranteed, and then use your move. Boom. Pretty simple and easy. And now the second camp is right in front of it. This is where the spawns for each mob gets really, really far. So you want to be careful with their aggro range. If not, they will go back and heal. But now I'm going to show you guys how to do it with bow. So with bow, it's pretty straightforward. Just use the explosive shot, wait for them to hit, explosive shot, boom. They get poisoned, run around, they die. And you could stay here until you're level 30 plus. But if they're becoming too easy, we're going to move on to the next area, which is the Skitters Nest village. And by the way, these guys do drop rare keys and rare chests spawn around here. So go ahead and collect those rare chests so you can get better weapons and better armors. So right over here in this big field near the Skitter Nest village, you will see a bunch of skitters and you can just go ahead and collect them if you want, but the best areas to actually collect them at is in the village. So there's going to be one camp here, and then a bunch of little camps in the back, but I'll show you guys the two main camps. So the first camp is going up this little ramp and going to your left. As you can see, there's a ton of these guys right here, the Skitter Generals, so go ahead and collect them. And now these guys have the same move as the bears, but it doesn't stun, it just does a ton of damage, so be careful about the energy balls. But yeah, same thing, use the critical hit guaranteed and then use the dagger ability. Oh, okay, I did that completely wrong, but as you saw, they hit that's the move. That's the move. It does a ton of damage. And then since you have the bow, swap over to the bow, use explosive shot. There we go. If your daggers can't one-shot them with the guaranteed critical hit and the bleeding daggers, you could then swap to your bow and use the explosive shot, which will then finish them off because the poison is really, really useful. Alright, and the second main camp is right here near the crops. Go ahead and collect the Skitter General starting from here and move your way down. Now, if they do manage to lose aggro, if you have a mount, you can kind of chase him and then get the aggro again. As you can see, I got him. Now, get off the mount, use the dagger move, dodge backwards, and then use the explosive shot. And like I said before, if you guys have other weapons, you can do this pretty easily because the other weapons have good AoE as well. Just use any AoE moves, dodge, and then use another one. And then, like I said, you can stay here for level 30 and up. And once you're done with the skitters, you can make your way down this little hill and then talk to Lupin so you can make your way over here way quicker. But now the next area that we're gonna make a way to is right here near this lake. You could actually see the quest pointer. It's kind of in between the Waspin Glade and the Lizardman Marsh. So yeah. And by the way, if you want another portal, there's a portal right here in between these palm trees. Her name is Neridia. Talk to her, get the portal, and now you can make your way to the grinding area a lot quicker. And at this point, you should have all your abilities and all the passes for it. So this is what my skill tree looks like. You could go ahead and copy it if you want, but if you have a better build, you don't have to. So once you're over here, the main people that you're going to be grinding onwards to like level 40, maybe even up to level 50, is this Feral Fiend Soldiers. So collect this quest by Hazira, and what you're going to do is there's going to be 4 different camps. The first camp is right here, the Feral Fiend Soldiers. Go ahead and gather them up off the mount. I'm going to use stealth for the guaranteed hit, so I'm going to wait for them to hit. They should be all synchronized. Stealth, use the dagger, run away, explosive shot, and then keep running in a circle. Once they hit, use the second move for the bow, and then keep running in a circle. For other weapons, this is going to be way easier just because they have bigger AoE, but this works fine as well. Once you're done there, use the dagger move again, dodge backwards, and then use explosive shot, and you gain a lot of EXP here, like in insane amounts. Like for each camp, I believe it's around 3k per, and at this rate, you'd only have to kill like what? 12, 13 camps to level up, which is pretty insane. Now the second camp is right near the front. Collect these Pharaoh soldiers right here, and remember not to lose aggro. Use the critical hit ability, use the dagger ability, explosive shot, and then use the arrow tempest. Simple, simple, simple. The third camp, same thing, but it's on the right hand side. So collect these feral fiends, and I don't like to get those guys just because they're usually out of range. Dagger, explosive shot, arrow tempest, and as you can see, the poison is killing them off fairly slowly but easily as well. And then the last camp for this area is right here. Collect these 4 and then collect the rest. As you can see, there's a ton of them this time. So we're gonna get off our mount, the invisibility, we're gonna use the daggers, and then we're gonna use the explosive shot, and then we're gonna use the bow ability, and then they should all die fairly quickly because of that poison. And just like that, your Marsh Fiend Purge quest is done. Go back to Hariza, talk to them, and complete the quest. So that's an extra 3000 EXP and 1000 essence tokens. And that's basically it for me, or at least that's my point of the game. Now I heard that in the Elder Woods there's like a catacombs here where you're level 40 plus and that's where you have to grind, but I'm not at that point, so I don't really want to recommend it just in case I'm wrong. But anyways, if you guys have any other tips, any other areas where you could grind, leave it in the comments below, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.